everyone, and welcome back to Pokemon Scarlet. Yeah. I took some time and finally got a shiny for 9th gen. Yay. That took way too long. Really way too long. But anyway, hopefully I can get done both things I want to do today. If not, I don't think it matters. We'll see. Hello, hello, I hope everyone is ready to learn some new things today. Next time we met, we'll have our final exams. That means today is our last actual class, and the topic for our last class will be Pokemon forms. You can think of it form as a shape or appearance that a Pokemon has. There are also phenomenons called a form change, where a Pokemon appearance change under certain circumstances. Cyclizard, for example, which are very regular ride-on as transportation. Paldea has 3 forms. First is its basic form, where it walks on all 4 legs. Second is battle form, where it stands on its 2 hind legs and engages in battle. Finally, it is its ride form, where it inflates its throat sac and tail so you can ride it on the back of it. Though, we can use something you're all carrying with you now as an even better example. Yep, I'm talking about your phones. Some smartphones are inhabited by a certain Pokemon. Does anyone know what that Pokemon I'm referring to? Rotom! You're a regular expert in Pokemon and technology, aren't you, Rio? The Pokemon inside your smartphone is Rotom, and all it does, all sorts of things to help out. A Rotom inside a Pokemon is special, so it doesn't try to enter other electronics. Ordinary Rotom, however, can change form by entering a washing machine, microwave, oven, and other electronic appliances. Rotom is a bit of an something, though many Pokemon have changed form, do so simply by holding an item or by having one of them or one used on them. Oricori Ho. I can't even say it, even with like 3 letters from my names being in it. For example, has 4 different forms it can change between to with a certain nectar. Pokemon may even change type or learn different moves when they change form. From changes are different from evolutions in that the Pokemon can return to its original form. The unlikely shiny Pokemon, which can't change their special colorization, the same individual Pokemon can go back and forth between its forms. There's a lot to dig into with this change phenomenon, as you can see. We all learn something from Pokemon here, don't you think? A bit of a stretch, but I'm happy to see you're all enjoying your time at the Academy to the fullest, and change into a new version of yourself, or something like that anyway. Oh, I almost forgot. Regional forms, which varies based on what region a Pokemon comes from, don't change like other forms. They are innate. Oops. There's the bell. I guess I was scatterbrained, Mr. Jock, right up to the very end, eh? I had a great time teaching you all. I hope you'll all do best on your final exams. I was about to say, whoa, why am I all on 6? I thought I did them all. No. Wow, I spaced out there. Math time, great. Hello everyone, I hope we all can have fun once again for our last class together. Last time we learned about probability using move accuracy, for example. Probability is quite an interesting subject. Did you know that in class with 40 students, there's a 90% chance that 2 of them will have the same birthday? Are you talking about month or day? If we break that down, it gets into a whole different category. This is true even despite the fact that there are over 300 days each year. What? Isn't that remarkable? But let's move on to today's topic. Before we get swept along with probability again, I've been teaching you about how to calculate damage in the class using examples like type matchup, critical hit, stat boost, and the like. All the variables are multiplied together to calculate damage to the opponent. However, did you know that there is an even simpler way to increase the damage of your Pokemon's move? All you have to do is have your Pokemon use a move it shares a type with. If a rock Pokemon uses a rock move, Stone Edge, its base power is 100 is multiplied by 1.5 to 150. Ground and rock seem to like similar types, but if a ground Pokemon uses Stone Edge, the move is 100. Super effective moves and crits also add multipliers on. It is a little numeral increase, so it certainly must not be taken lightly. Let's ask the question to see if you're understanding what I'm talking about here. So, you have a move with 100 attack power. If a Pokemon that shares the same type and uses it in a Pokemon's weakness, what will happen? It comes to 150 if it's the same type, and double that because it's weakness, so 2 times the weakness. Oh, you did it! Congratulations! In your head. Very well. First, using the move that shares the same type by its user. Base power of 100 by 1.5 will make it 150. Effect of the opponent is weak to the move type, it then doubles that power from 150 to 300. The original power of the move ends up being tripled. Isn't that amazing? What's more, if a Pokemon terrestrialized and its Terra type matches the one of its original type, then the bonus it gets for using that move of that same type is increased by 2. Geez, so 200, so 400. Of course, being able to use a lot of move with different types is great as well. That's one way you can surprise your opponent. In the end, your own innate characters are what will let you shine the most. Bear in mind that this is true for both humans and Pokemon. It sure would make me happy if you could take these words to heart, but I simply should really have shared this basic advice right from our first lesson. My apologies. And just like that, the class is over. The last of our time together flows by in a blink of an eye. It is so much fun to be able to teach you all, eager students, about numbers. Next class will be our final exam. Be sure to review the materia and well in preparations. Oh boy. History. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did, yep, okay. Today is our last class, so I would like to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us. One last time. In our last class, I taught you about Area Zero's exploration of 200 years ago, correct? As 200 years isn't that long ago, not that long ago at all. How unfortunate that our history lesson must march in inexorable towards the future. Wouldn't it not be more adventurous to march towards the path the past instead, to start from our present and study history in reverse? That might be hard to follow. Indeed, it may be difficult to understand the flow of events. One thing leads to another if we were to trace history in reverse. I suppose I have no choice but to let the flow of time give us the future. In the last class of ours, I will fill your minds with the history of the terrestrialized phenomenon. The technology behind Terra Orbs has its origin in Area Zero. Even after Area Zero exploration reached the crater's deepest depth, others continue to explore that area. And around 140 years ago, Pokemon cloaked in a mysterious light were discovered here. As you may have guessed, they were the Pokemon, in fact, terrestrialized Pokemon. However, when those Pokemon discovered these, when those who discovered these Pokemon brought them to Area Zero, the light faded, and the terrestrialized phenomenon remained a mystery for quite some time. However, 10 years ago, that that might as well be present day, a certain someone you have definitely heard of unraveled this mystery. Perfect timing. I did not make eye contact. What is the name of the famous professor who unraveled the terrestrialized phenomenon mystery? Soda. Correct. Think that a new transfer. I technically could have done all these first, but oh boy. Of our academy could correctly answer the question. You must have been very diligent in your studies. Apparently, 10 years ago, a professor named Soda unraveled the mystery of the terrestrialized phenomenon. She discovered that the shining crystals down in Area Zero, or rather the energy they emit, is what causes terrestrialized Pokemon to terrestrialize. This led the professor to invent Terra Orbs technology and the development of a practical use for it. This technology was then shared with both Pokemon League and our academy. Rumor has it that Director Savell was one of the researchers on the professor's team. Also, the story is much less exciting now that someone we all know appeared in it. Modern history currently is dull, isn't it? Thus ends the history class. Our next session will be the final exam. Bring what wonders up to the forefront of your minds in preparation. And I'm just going to skip by button mashing my way to the answer. Well, when I get the answer, that is. The question for a language class. Yes, nice to meet you, sir. You're the only teacher I do not want to try to read. Happiness. Yeah, I don't really care that much. I just want your class done with. So only 3 classes left. Battle studies. Ooh, so this is our last class, but don't let those energy levels drop before we wrap up things. You should all have been more enough knowledge to be a super strong battler. I don't know that I have much left to teach you, but we can always aim for even greater heights. So today, I'm going to teach you all about rules of Link Battle. When 2 trainers participate in a Link Battle together, they can engage in either single or double battle with each other. And if you're playing in a group of 4, you can battle each other in multiple battles. Now, when you're out having battles during your independent studies, you can use whatever number Pokemon you like, and they can be any level. But in Link battles, there's a special rule to keep in mind. Some of the special rules includes adjusting Pokemon level. Now, the no restriction lets you set all Pokemon to have their current level, and lets trainers use multiple Pokemon of the same species and multiple of the same held items too. But if you choose the normal rules, then all Pokemon must be set to level 50 for battles, regardless of levels they are. This includes lower level Pokemon. They'll get a boost to participate. Normal rules let you use multiple of the same Pokemon species and the same held item too. The great part about this rule is that it lets any of your Pokemon participate. All they have to do is learn some good moves. Lastly, the rule called Flat Rules mostly affects Pokemon over level 50. Such Pokemon will be set to level 50 for the duration of the battle. The Flat Rule set is one of the most used official tournaments. This set does not allow trainers to use multiple Pokemon of the same species or multiple of the same held items. Alright, here's a question. Which of the set rules should you pick if you want to use a lower level Pokemon at its lowest level? Flat rules? That's the one, new kid. Looks like you were listening. If you've got some clever strategy that you need to use a level 5 Pokemon for, it's best to choose the Flat Rule set. Of course, if you also can't choose no restrictions, if you want to battle with any Pokemon you want at any level with any held item. It's a pretty good rule set for when you want to battle freely with friends. In conclusion, normal rules adjust all Pokemon to level 50. Flat lets you use lower level Pokemon at their current level. I hope you all use these tips to have some exciting battles with your friends. Oh man, just as, okay, yeah, basically her end stuff. What is next? Art class. The final art class. Hello, it is I, Hansel, yet again. How time flies, as they say. Oh, and my controller died. Cool. Indeed, our time together has certainly flowed by. It is hard to believe that this is our last class. Now, our topic for today may somewhat unrelated to art. But there is absolutely no set destination as what art should be. Therefore, I'll let you carry out on with the discussion and see where it takes us. There are two things I wish to focus on today: ribbons and marks. Both ribbons and marks are special honors that capture a Pokemon's qualities. There will be times when Pokemon gives maximum effort or has a noteworthy experience. In recognition of this feat or accomplishment, it can be given a ribbon. To give an example, if you manage to become incredibly close to a Pokemon, it may be granted a best friend ribbon. In science, I don't know what that first word is. There is a person in Cascafaria who can give your Pokemon a best friend ribbon. Marks, on the other hand, are mostly found on wild Pokemon when you meet them for the first time. They can symbolize the character of a Pokemon, such as with a rowdy mark or a vigor mark. It's completely up to luck whether you run into a Pokemon with this mark. So, if you're able to catch a Pokemon with a mark, rejoice at your outstanding fortune. Does anyone know what special thing you can do with a Pokemon that has a ribbon or a mark? Change their title? Wonderful, Rhea. Your knowledge is impressive. The correct answer is a Pokemon with that ribbon or mark can be given titles. What more, they can be sent out into battle and display their title of your choosing. For example, you could send out a Gibble with a best friend ribbon by declaring, "Go Gibble, the great friend." And while I know I just said that marks are generally found already on Pokemon that when you meet them for the first time, it seems that more recently Pokemon can be awarded a certain mark based on their affection. These marks, such as something mark, the item finder mark, the partner mark, and so on. Perhaps it might be fun to try to work on Pokemon how to get these marks using its name as a clue. Well, just as it's time to wrap up our class. Cool. One more class. Put away your phones, it's time for our last class together. Home economics is the study of life new necessities, but looking back on our time together, I realized that I focused mostly on entering entirety on food. I hope it is not too late to shift to a discussion of clothing, other necessities in our last class. As I am sure you are aware of, our academy is an air of freedom about it. We provide uniforms for each season to accommodate the desired climate of Paldea. However, students are free to wear whichever style they wish whenever they please. You all have received 4 sets of tops, bottoms, 1 of each spring, summer, fall, and winter, when the Academy accepted you. If by any chance you were not aware of this, you may wish to present your wardrobe. As long as you wear our uniforms, the rest of your ensemble need not be school issue. This includes your bag or your hat if you choose to wear one. I can choose not to wear a book bag? I did not know that. Wait, do I have a book bag on me? I knew I could not wear a hat. If you're even free to style your hair however you wish. Mr. Salvatore's hairstyle, for example, would most certainly have been against school regulation when I was a boy. That reminds me. Is there one more thing that you all like to decorate with, which I must find quite charming? Our Rotams. Perfectly correct. That's the adorable little thing I was speaking of. Oh, it interests me so. I must admire that I am fascinated by Rotom's phone and how to customize them. What's that? How very intriguing. So there's a shop called Delibird Present where you can purchase Rotom phones. I thank you for that useful bit of information. I shall have to go myself first thing tomorrow and get an adorable case of my own liking. Forgive me, it seems I've forgotten a little carried away with this small talk. Ahem, this class known as Home Economics nears its end, I offer these final words to you who have been honing everyday life skills with me. My field of studies is not so something as the likes of mathematics, for instance, where test scores might play a part in deciding your future. However, as you go on to cook for yourselves, to take care of your Pokemon, to decide what to wear in the morning when you awake, I would be honored if that you have taught you serves to smoothen out enrich your lives, even if by a bit. This sentiment was important to me by Mr. Hassel and his particular outlook on such manners. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for seeing this class through to the end. Our time together has come. Woo-wee! And before I go, is there anything I've unlocked? No. Alright, cool. So, I'm gonna end off this part here. Without further ado, Dark Wii 32, signing off.